making some Oreo Truffles today. I'm doing a double batch, so you don't have to do this, but usually you just do 1 brick of cream cheese softened with a package of Oreos back in the day when Oreos had more in the package. But now I'm going to say 300 grams of crushed Oreos. I'm going to be doing golden and regular. And so I'm just going to throw my cream cheese in there in my mixer. And then I've got 600 grams of golden Oreos here. If you're doing 1 batch, just do 300 in 1 brick. This is my new mixer. So I'm still getting to know her, so don't judge me. And nobody said this was going to be classy or clean, okay? This is going to get messy, possibly. And we're just going to let it go until it all combines into one kind of dough. And then we're going to put it into some pretty molds. And this might take a couple minutes, but luckily for all you people, it won't take very long at all. We want it to be all very incorporated. Like I said, I'm working with a new mixer, so I'm finding new strategies to scrape my bowl. I'm used to the classic KitchenAid mixer, but I've upgraded to the
professional
lift,
5+.
and it's a lift bowl where I'm used to a head tilt. So now we gotta scrape all the good stuff off of the beater because, you know, you paid for that. So, as my girl Tiffany likes to say, you know, you paid for that, so you gotta have that.
This is delicious.
And then we are going to make sure to move it to another bowl to make it easier to scoop out and mold. You know, back in the day, I used to make sure to chill this first before working with it, until I recently learned that if you wear the gloves when you're molding and you use it at room temperature, it is so much easier to fill the molds, and you get really awesome shapes because then you just freeze it. And we will get to that part too. Sometimes I get ahead of myself, but don't judge me, okay? I get all that good stuff because we paid for it. And you're probably wondering, am I going to clean this bowl first before I move on to the chocolate? No, I'm not. Because if you're strategic and you start with the golden and then work to the chocolate, nobody's going to notice because it's chocolate. It overpowers the golden. And just like my girl Jess likes to say, it's fine. It's fine. Just chill. Don't judge me. I will be washing this beater, however, though, because it just got stolen. Because I'm not going to make goodies for people with my kids, you know, licking it. So, there are some rules. And now we're going to do the Oreo, chocolate Oreo ones. And so I've already got my 2 bricks of cream cheese in the bowl. And I washed the toddler licked paddle before using. And we're adding the crumbs. And then we're going to pull this girl up. I haven't named this girl. I don't know what I should name her.
I'm going to name
My sourdough starter is Bessie, but I don't know. I haven't found her name yet.
Hey,
So now we're going to mix her up just like we did before. And yeah, you could do this by hand. I used to do it by hand about 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago. And then I was gifted a KitchenAid mixer for Christmas by my dad, and that changed everything so much because, you know, my hands used to get stuck when I would be mixing because I would go to town. I got the baking bug from my grandmother, my mom's mom, Carolyn. She would, especially at Christmas time, but she'd do it all year round, but mainly at Christmas time, she would just go crazy baking all the things. Date squares, apple bars, cookies, peanut butter cookies, these cherry wink things, just all these amazing things, probably at least 10 to 15 items. And I would sometimes help her, or also my friends would also get the benefit from eating it. That was great. And I just can't stop baking myself, especially this last Christmas. I did 17 different recipes, and I felt like I was channeling my grandma. So, thanks for teaching me, Grandma. She did everything by hand. I have a nice mixer, so Thank you, technology. But Grandma was really strong. So the chocolate one is kind of being a little bit more wet than I want it. But that's why we're always prepared with extra crumbs, just in case. So I'm just going to add just a tiny bit more, just to make it a little less wet, easier to work with. And who doesn't like a little extra Oreos? And so, Billy, Mommy's going to do that part, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we're going to go up. I'm just going to scrape this a little bit more. My little assistant, Billy, is great. Yes, I make a mess. Never said I was classy or clean. Well, I'm clean, but I make a mess and I clean up as I go.
I like to put my hand there.
Yeah, I can already tell by the nice darker color that it's going to be the texture that I wanted. I might actually put this one in the fridge for about 15 minutes before working with it. But that's good because I got to mold the first ones anyway. Like, yes, it's easier to work with room temperature, but you can make these doughs ahead of time. And just put them in the fridge until you're ready, and then just have them sit out for a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes before working with it. And then it'll work nicely. You can mold it from cold. It just takes a little bit longer, and you got to play with it like Play-Doh a little bit more.
Play with it like Play-Doh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, no, I'm not telling you to play with it like Play-Doh. I'm telling the people.
Mommy's making an example, Billy.
Yeah, I'm explaining.
I just like it.
Oh, I know you want it and you like it, but unfortunately, we can't always have what we want in the moment that we want it.
I like the wake. I like the wake that.
Yeah.
Just look and watch the wonderfulness that Mama's making.
Yeah. But you can lick this because I don't need it anymore.
All right.
So that's Billy's favorite part.
There you go.
That's why she sticks around. I'm sure she'll eventually start helping, but right now she's just in it for the treats. And so yeah, it's a little bit wet, but I'm definitely going to put this in the fridge. I'm going to put it into another bowl here. That way I can continue doing things with my mixer if I need, which I do, because later on today I'm making some sourdough bagels. So stay tuned for that one. So now for the fun part, we are going to start filling the molds. I just got these molds on Amazon and I've never used them before, but I think that they'll be good because the heart ones that I used at Valentine's Day were really good. And it's just as simple, and so I still left this out. I didn't refrigerate this one. The chocolate one is in the fridge because it definitely needs to be refrigerated. And you're just going to take a little bit like this, and you're just going to press it in. And it's okay if there's some excess, because then you just carefully use your thumb and just to press it in. And then you kind of use your fingers to graze it off the top and get it all in there nicely. And then we're going to fill all of them, and we're going to freeze it. And then once it's frozen, it makes it easy to pop them right out, especially because it's silicone. And then we are going to cover them in chocolate and white chocolate. I'll do white chocolate on the golden one and chocolate on the regular ones. Now, there are some people, you could use almond bark instead of chocolate, given the price of chocolate these days. I personally don't like the taste of almond bark for me, personally, but if it works for other people, that's great. But I'm very big on using actual chocolate, so I just try to find the deals where I can and stock up when I can. I'm hoping that the ears on these bunnies work out well, but the great thing is that because it'll be frozen when I pull it out, it's less likely to break. And they're a little bit smaller than I used at Valentine's Day. I used about a little bit bigger, but I can just adjust my prices. Or just give more for the same price, because who doesn't like more truffles? And these end up just tasting like, it's almost like a cake pop, but cream cheese instead of steam or icing. I know there's those two methods.
Wow, there's something incredibly therapeutic about watching your wife make Easter shaped Oreo truffle treats. It's pretty amazing. I want to take this time with you all and kind of fill you in on something that our wonderful family has been working on. Welcome to the Countryman Kitchen Homestead YouTube channel. You may look at us and be like, you guys aren't living on a 40-acre farm. And you know what? The answer is yeah, we aren't. But homesteading, it's not anything to do with how much land you have, how many chickens you have, or what have you. Homesteading is a mindset. It's a decision to live more intentionally, to produce more than what you can consume and preserve, and to learn the skills of self sufficiency right where we are. Our channel is dedicated to the waiting room of homesteading. We're going to document how to homestead before you actually have a homestead. We realize that if we wait for that perfect circumstance to start, you may not even start it at all. There's a certain grit that comes from practicing these skills in a space that wasn't necessarily built for them. It's about making do, getting creative, and finding the joy in the trial and error of it all. On this channel, we aren't just going to show you the perfect finished product. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the journey. So whether you live in a suburban area or live in an apartment or already have your boots in the mud, we're here to build a community of people who are tired of waiting for the someday and to start living their dreams. We aren't experts yet, and you know what? That's not the point. We're just a family chosen to live a little differently, one recipe and one project at a time. We are so excited to have you along for this ride. If you're ready to start your homesteading journey, hit that like and subscribe button, and welcome to the Countryman Kitchen Homestead. Let's build something together. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.